When you hear the sound of the bell, you know you're in the championship rounds with King of Essex. It's Women's Boxing Wednesday, so let's get to it. We've heard a lot in the news, so let's get to, I guess, the highlights of the most recent announcements. First of all, shout out to Gabriela Fundora. She just got signed to a co-promotional deal between Samson Lickowitz. Forgot the name of his outfit, but whatever they are in Golden Boy Promotions. The visibility, Golden Boy, Mexican, Hispanic heritage, it'll all play out well. Golden Boy did a great job with Senicia Estrada too, so let's not front on her. And they got Yokasta Valle over there now, so yeah, they can handle the task of building Fundora to superstar status. So salute to her. Can't wait to see that. Um, some kind of I guess backdated news along the lines of what champions are doing. Um, Before I even get to that, Gabrielle Fundora is going to be defending that title in her first title defense. We know she was supposed to defend against Marlene Esparza. That fell through. Well, that was supposed to be a unification, not happening. So she's going to be defending against a young lady by the name of Christina Cruz, I believe. So yeah, there you have it. Now, talking about champions and what champions are doing, Katie Taylor has finally decided to vacate all of the belts at 135. So there's a huge vacancy. But we all know, I know, been telling you guys for a few weeks now, Caroline Dubois is the one I think that's going to fill that void at 135. We'll talk about her in a little bit. I told y'all, Mikaela Mayer skipped right over 135, call it what you want, right? Call it avoidance. I'm not going to say duck because Mayer is one tough gal. Again, talk about it later. But what Dubois got on the table, she is already the IBO champ. She was slated to fight, I believe, in a WBA unification against Rhiannon and Dixon. That would have been a good domestic showdown for the UK. However, something happened along the way. The IBF title, uh, Beatriz Ferreria out of Brazil, still very raw, but a very powerful puncher. She's got a good engine on her. It will be a good win for Caroline Dubois now because Dubois is so seasoned, so polished. She'll take out the deep waters and drown her, and Ferreria will go on to win, just not against Caroline Dubois. So it's kind of like easy pickings should Caroline take that fight now. And I love Beatrice, but just a different type of seasoning and elegance that Caroline Dubois possesses. I mean, she's poised for the stage and she's already the IBO champ. I see her running the table, excuse me, and of course, unifying all of the titles at 135. But it is a pretty good landscape. So salute to all of those ladies, and we'll have to see what happens. All right. Let's swing it on over and talk about Claressa Shields. I think some people get it misconstrued. There are some things that you may not like about Claressa Shields, but she is undeniably the GWOAT when it comes to women's boxing. It's probably why some people want that scalp. If you get the GOAT scalp, that makes you the GWOAT. But let's not move too fast. She's the GWOAT in boxing, women's boxing. Now trying her hand in MMA. I think her record is 1-2. She signed with the PFL, Professional Fight League. She's slated to fight a young lady by the name of Kelsey DeSantis. I don't know if she's related to Ron DeSantis out in Florida, but I don't know if there's other politics involved. But I can't see Claressa Shields going 1-3. I mean, I could see it happening. Because here's what happens. Like I talk about all the greatness. When you challenge yourself to be great, I mean, of course, was Michael Jordan good at baseball? Maybe not at the professional level. Is Claressa Shields a good MMA fighter? Could she have a solid career? Yeah, she could. I just don't think it'll be the GWOAT levels that we see in boxing, the learning curve, the age that she's adapted to it. But God bless her and kudos to her for taking on that challenge. All right. So, moving on. All right. That fight actually is going to be on a card. I think it's PFL versus Bellator out in Saudi Arabia. So Shields is going to be preoccupied. That is next month. In the meantime, we all know Alycia Baumgardner has been doing her best Shannon Briggs impression. Let's go, champ. Where you eat, I eat. Where you sleep, I sleep. She's been running Claressa Shields down absolutely and making a credible case for that fight. You guys know my opinion on it. There's no reason why Shields should not oblige, right? If Shields is fighting anywhere near 147, I happen to see Alycia Baumgardner on the scale today. She's tipping the scales at 148. I don't know if she's trying to say she's willing to go up to 154. We know Shields fought at 154. But anyway, um, Shields is going to be preoccupied. Baumgardner is going to be preoccupied, but not so long as people anticipated. So the WBC has made their ruling. They're not going to strip her for a title. Let me just say something, because some of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, y'all motherfuckers can't comprehend. Okay. So if you don't understand what the ruling is, okay, it's like getting off with a warning. They're saying, yes, she tested positive for whatever the substance is. That's indisputable. But with the evidence she presented, they don't have any idea that, or at least they don't think that she intended to circumvent the rules of the testing and therefore purposely ingesting this substance. All right. So something could have happened. That's what cross contamination is. All right. Why can't you people accept that? I don't know, man, because sometimes you're the same people that think for a black person to be successful, it's got to be Illuminati. By no means, man, a white man's ice is always colder for you motherfuckers. So I refuse to be one of y'all. I'm going to embrace Alycia Baumgardner and what she's doing. She's campaigning like a champion, and she wants a fight that will take her to the global level. Anybody against that? You're scared money. I don't want to hear from you. All right. Moving right along. I think we need to talk about fight week at this point, because uh at least one of these fighters, and let's say both of them, all right. Yes, one of them participated on one of the most historic nights of women's boxing, that being Mikaela Mayer. I mentioned her earlier. On that card that night with Alycia Baumgardner. You see, history ties people together. Who was the main event? Claressa Shields. That's why Baumgardner wants Shields. You see, you're supposed to challenge for greatness in that regard, aren't you? Or no, you're supposed to just, do some PBC shit and only get comfortable fighting. I mean, we're not doing that. So, fight this weekend. This is the main event as far as I'm concerned. It is Natasha Jonas. She's a two-division world champion. Natasha Jonas versus Mikaela Mayer. This is Mayer moving up in weight, trying to become a two-division world champion herself. And this is going to be a very, very tough fight. We know Jonas has moved around. She's moved up and down, around and around. Thought of Diana Ross when I just said that. But there's only one diva in this one. Only one of these women can really come out on top. Obviously, you'd hate to see Jonas lose, because she's done so much, so well accomplished for GB boxing, women's boxing, and boxing period. But this would be the thing. I think that if a loss would push her into the more business and the promotional aspect. She's already a presenter with Sky Sports, so she's got a lot of other things brewing. But I don't think she's ready to hang up the gloves just yet. However, Mikaela Mayer, she's reinvented herself, and quite, frankly, with the whole, you know, British breakfast thing, she's an expat. She's kind of staked her claim to the UK, and I think, a win over Natasha Jonas makes her a two-time world champion, and I think it gives her a lot of opportunities over there in the UK. 147 and beyond. She could come down to 140 and fight Katie Taylor. A lot of things could happen, but that's just the magnitude of this particular fight, and you guys need to tune in to see what happens. And so kudos to both of these fighters for taking this one. Neither one of them turning down no smoke. Jonas is a southpaw. Mayer, we know, is a body puncher, and there was some controversy about I guess they call it a cup still, like the groin protector. About the groin protector. Jonas kind of warning Mayer, like, hey, they show you over here in the UK, the groin protector is, a little high. So them, maybe, planting the seed. But sometimes Mikaela Mayer could just be a buzzsaw. So yeah, I don't think she's going to be turned off or feel threatened by the referee should they, give her a couple warnings. I mean, when she switches it on, she switches it on, and her motor very, very high. So we'll have to wait and see how that one turns out. Also on this card, you have a top UK prospect. She's in the featherweight division, Caroline Dubois. Um, yeah, she's ready for a showdown, perhaps with if she can make it, Sky Nicholson in the back of her mind. Maybe somehow her and Tiara Brown, just for notability and notoriety, mix it up and give each other the favor of recognition, right? Maybe even make a trilogy out of it or something, a rematch, rubber match, whatever, right? You also have Yesenia Gomez fighting this weekend. She's the former WBC what is she, flyweight division champ. Lost that title to Kim Clavel, but she's on a comeback trail, so she's in action this weekend, and that's pretty much it for women's boxing. So, if you see something, say something, drop it in the comments, drop a like. Feel free to run forth with this information and pretend like you know your damn self. A lot of people pretend to do it, but it's cool. You want to know why? Because I take great joy in bringing to you the finer points of women's boxing, because women's boxing is boxing, and boxing is this thing of ours. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. King of Essex, the foremost authority on women's boxing. I'm out.